Hello, my name is Nao Banal. I wanted to talk about Spirit Empowered Church. And when we're talking about Spirit Empowered Church, what we want to look towards, what we want to kind of base that off of is the Acts 2 model. When we're talking about the Acts 2 model, it's based off of Acts chapter 2, verses 42 through 47. And I'll be reading out of the Christian Standard Bible version. And it says this: They devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching, to the fellowship, to the breaking of bread, and to prayer. Everyone was filled with awe, and many wonders and signs were being performed through the apostles. Now all the believers were together and held all things in common. They sold their possessions and property and distributed the proceeds to all, as any had need. Every day they devoted themselves to meeting together in the temple and broke bread from house to house. They ate their food with joyful and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people. Every day the Lord added to their number those who were being saved. And I like what Alton Garrison had to say when he's talking about the five functions of the church. He's going based off of what we just read, Acts chapter 2 verses 42 through 47. And so I wanted to go over those five functions with you. So we're talking about connect, being able to connect with people outside of the church through evangelism. When we're talking about number two being grow, when you have that opportunity to connect with someone through evangelism, being able to bring them in to the church and to have growth. And with that comes discipleship. And then number three being send. When you have that opportunity to have discipleship with somebody, there comes a point where in their own walk with Christ that they feel called, that they feel led to go into full-time ministry or to go into their workplace, however that looks like. And with being sent out, having that obedience to go. And just as Jesus mentioned in the Great Commission, when he said to go and make disciples of all nations, I think that's important to realize that when he says go and make disciples of all nations, he's not just saying wait until you get to your destination or to that country that you feel called to, but as you go along, as you go about your day, let that be a priority. Let that be a challenge to make disciples, to connect with people. And so the fifth function that Alton Garrison talks about is worship. Not just worshiping in the good times when everything is easy and comfortable, but when everything is not so comfortable. When you are in those hard times, when you're going through those trials and tribulations, and being able to worship in those moments. And so when we're talking about the five functions of the church, a good starting point that I would like to go over and what Chris Rayleigh talked about is the four characteristics of biblical vision. And biblical vision, he said, should solve problems, meet needs, and seize opportunities. Number two, biblical vision starts with listening before talking. And I think that's so important because you want to be able to listen to what other people on the team have to say. Number three, biblical vision should be a corporate process, not an individual exercise. Kind of going off of the previous point, talking about start listening before talking, and then we should make it a corporate process and not an individual exercise. Being able to let other people into the mix and letting them be part of the process as well. Number four, biblical vision should unify the community of faith. And I think that's so important because maybe you're going into a new church like how my wife and I did, and you want to be able to do things the way that you're maybe familiar with, or you saw this work at your church and you want to try it here. But being able to get everybody on the same page on your leadership team, because you don't want to be all going in different directions and it just looks, and people in your congregation or people in your ministry can tell that you guys aren't on the same page. And so when you establish that game plan, when you establish that roadmap, you want to be able to continue and make it consistent. And so I hope that this helps you. I hope that this is an encouraging little message, being able to be challenged in that way. And I know that it challenged me. Thank you.